So we have a fine day too for tennis. After all the ceremony, down to the nitty-gritty of the occasion. The conditions, court playing fast. There is perhaps a little more wind in the court today than we've had, so this will put an added burden on the finalists to really watch the ball. Just have a look at Miss Wade, because it's the 11th time in her 16 attempts at the title that she's been seeded. And this year, seeded number 3. It was the quality of her tennis and her match-playing skill, I think, in knocking out the holder Chris Evert in the semi-final on Wednesday, that has made her almost everybody highly optimistic about her chances today. The other thing, too, of course, is that she has an overall record of 17 victories to 2 over Betistova. And in 1974 at Wimbledon, Miss Wade was beaten in the semi-final by Olga Morozova of Russia, and in the semi-final last year by Yvonne Corley. The most famous victory was, without doubt, the United States Open Championship in 1968 when she beat Billie Jean King. But she has won the Australian Championship too, and to show that she could win on hard courts as well as grass, she won the Italian Championship in 1971.
You have 1 minute, ladies.
Just a quick look at Miss Betistova. Without question, Holland's best ever player, 32 years of age, seeded 7. She's unexpectedly reached the final because within her 6 singles wins, she brought about the downfall of the second favourite, Martina Navratilova, Czechoslovakia, but now USA in the quarterfinal, and that was a good score, 9-8, 3-6, 6-1. And then she beat the 4th seed, our own Sue Barker, Great Britain's number 2, in the semi-final, 6-4, 2-6, 6-4. But in the second round, she dropped the first set to Pam Teagarden, one of the United States ranking players, won the next 2 easily. She's never won a major singles title, and her best effort at Wimbledon was without doubt in 1975, reaching the quarter-final where she shook the defending champion Chris Evert, taking the first set 7-5. She lost the second 5-7, and then, rather drained physically and mentally, she lost the final set 6-love. Last year, she lost to Miss Evert again in the 4th round, 6-2, 6-2. But it's, of course, in doubles that she is the great player. World class in 1972, and still is. Champion of France and Wimbledon with Billie Jean King, and United States champion with Françoise Deux. She's still in the doubles, ladies doubles. She seeded 1 with Martina Navratilova. And yesterday, she and her partner beat in the semi-final of that event, Miss Wade and Françoise Deux by 6-8, 6-2, 6-2. So that was rather a strange coincidence that they should meet on the very eve of this final.
Miss Wade to serve, first set.
So off we go with Miss Wade serving.
Love 15. All. Not up. 15-30.
Yes. A very quick call by Harry Collins, and a very correct one, not up. And Miss Wade knew it and, of course, turned her back on the wall. But a slight mishit, the return of service.
All. Forty 30. Yes.
Well, a 10-stroke rally. Both girls beginning to settle, and Miss Wade at the moment has served every first service in.
Advantage, Miss Wade. Yes.
Backhand pass as accurate as it could be, right bang on the line.
Advantage, Miss Stover.
Betty Stover's return, just clipping the top of the net, which disconcerted Miss Wade there.
Yes. Advantage, Miss Wade. Yes.
And the big Dutch girl, perhaps the biggest lady playing the tennis on the circuit, plays a very smooth cross-court forehand under pressure from a very good Wade approach. Just out.
Advantage, Miss Wade.
Fourth time she's had point for the game.
Game to Miss Wade. First game.
Well, that was a pretty remarkable game, Shirley, wasn't it? Goodness, she only served in all those points. She only served 2 faults.
I think that was a game in which Virginia was very determined to try out the nerve and strength of her opponent, just as Betty was trying to do the same. It's quite windy out there, perhaps not ideal conditions for Virginia, but nevertheless, that was a convincing start. You know, if anybody said that they could have forecast that these two players would have been in the final, I think I would have said that they either picked it with a pin or was psychic, because for those of us who study form, there's really been no indication that this would be the way. Neither has actually won a tournament leading up to this championship in 1977. Yet here they both are. So Betty Stoke now to serve, with Virginia Wade leading 1-love, first set.
Miss Stover serving. Love 15. Love 30.
Just out.
Love 40.
I wasn't really sure whether Betty Stover was going for a winner there or merely playing a deep approach.
Fifteen 40.
Surprised Virginia didn't play that. There was no call, and it always looked a good service.
Yes.
So from love 40 to deuce, Betty Stover starting this service game with a rather nervy double fault.
One fault.
Well, I think that told its own story. I think both girls felt the serve was reasonable. That's right. One fault. And smash.
Advantage, Miss Stover.
Accurately placed smash.
Game to Miss Stover. One game all.
Very generous hand for Betty Stover as he won that game from love 40. But Miss Wade has missed a chance there. Yes.
Love. 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 Game to Miss White. Wade leads by 2 games to 1.
Virginia Wade continuing to serve well in spite of the nasty little eddying wind around here, which tends to disturb the throw-up.
Well, although one hates to predict anything with either Virginia Wade or Betty Stover on the court, it does seem that Virginia Wade has settled down enough and played the shots that she sometimes finds difficult, a backhand pass down the line, and several very good first services to show that she seems to have settled down. And this perhaps is a day when we can relax and enjoy her tennis. Betty Stover, too, has been in quite good form so far. She has hit her forehand quite well, and that sometimes is a shot which yields some presence. I think that too in these championships, both these players have done well because they haven't been as warm as usual. The courts have not been quite as dry and fast, and it's needed players of strength to lift the ball over and hit it. And both Betty Stovey and Virginia Wade are players who know how to do this, and also experienced grass court players. Betty Stover now to serve, with Virginia Wade leading 2-1, first set.
Love. Love.
That was a very good forehand winner for Betty Stover because it was a very nasty ball. Miss Wade returning it with spin. It was hanging rather.
Love. Game to Mistova. Two games all.
Heartening game for the Dutch lady. A love game. 2-all, first set.
Love 15. All.
In.
15-30.
Virginia Wade at the moment not really pushing her opponent around the court enough.
All.
They're under more pressure there with that deep backhand.
The
Led off of Virginia there. Betty Stover missing that easy drop volley. 40-30. And that Dutch forehand across the court died a little bit on Virginia Wade. Didn't quite come up.
Advantage, Miss Stover. Game to Miss Stover. Miss Stover leads by 3 games to 2.
Well, as we watch Miss Wade in trouble there, losing her service, just have a look at our royal guests here today. The royal party, Her Majesty the Queen and His Royal Highness of Edinburgh, and President of the club. And I think it's an appropriate moment to let you know that today's receipts from the non-ticket holders will be given to the Queen's Silver Jubilee Appeal, which is to support and encourage service to the community by young people. And the total receipts are expected to be in the region of about £5,000.
Well, in that game, Virginia looked a little more tentative, particularly under pressure. Betty Stove is lobbing well, and that makes it difficult for her, particularly in the wind. And then also, Betty Stove is a player who keeps the ball very low over the net. And Virginia, a little nervous, is letting it drop low, and that's causing her some trouble. So Betty Stover now leading 3-2, first set.
That's a magnificent recovery.
Love 15.
Virginia Wade showing the speed about the court and the reflexes that she did when she beat Miss Everett in the semi-final.
First service.
Just out.
Love 30.
Just remember, of course, that Betty Stover is a world-class doubles player and is very adept at the lob.
First service.
Love 30.
Love 40.
Rather an adventurous second server, Betty Stover. She served quite a lot of double faults against Miss Barker in the semi-final. Doesn't hit with much spin, that second service.
Game to Miss Wade. Three games all.
That really must be very heartening to get a love break to bring you to 3-all in the first set. Fault called.
Love 15. Allowed 30.
Virginia Wade not showing the freedom and the physical relaxation that she showed against Miss Everett. It's slow and heavy getting out to that forehand. And for the moment she's lost the feel of the service which she had in the opening game when she served so well.
First at service. Love 40.
That was a typical doubles player shot, lovely angled return. Okay.
$15, 40. $30-40.
Virginia Wade following in behind the serve picked up a very, very good forehand half volley there because the return of service was most awkward for her. 30-40. I think the opponent, Miss Stover, is asking about that being a net cord.
No call. Yes.
Net court judge. The net court judge says no call. And I think Miss Wade, if she'd heard it, she'd have stopped playing immediately. So from love 40 to deuce. Just out.
Advantage, Miss Wade. Quiet, please. Wade leads by 4-3, first set.
Surely, I must say that was a surprise coming back from love 40 because she really wasn't moving very well in that game, was she, at first?
Yes, that's more like the Virginia that we know, pulling herself back from the brink of disaster. But I think that the mixture of Betty Stove, of the high lobs and the low drives, has disconcerted Virginia rather, and she's not quite so keen on coming into the net quickly. Of course, it's a very different game to Chris Evert, against whom she played in the semi-final, because then Virginia felt that she had the net to herself. Now she knows that Betty Stove will come in at every opportunity, and so that, of course, puts pressure on. Betty Stove has certainly played very well, really, because she's not only has to fight Virginia, but also a rather partisan crowd, and that's never very easy. You can so often feel, well, if the crowd really want me to lose, why not? I'm one against them. But it does mean an enormous amount to Betty to win this championship, and I'm quite certain that she's not going to do that. So Virginia Wade going back to receive service. And Betty Stovey coming round to serve now, trailing by 4 games to 3, first set.
Serving with new balls.
Love 50.
Virginia Wade hit that backhand. That's the best timed stroke that she's hit in the match. Played. Lovely volley.
15 all. But second service. Thirty 15.
Wade certainly today not looking so relaxed as she did as she was against Chrissy Evert. It's caught out. The lineswoman has her arm up.
40 15.
Well, the umpire has overruled the line judge. Winning forehand drive volley.
Game to the Stover. Four games all.
For all, first set.
Love 15. Love 30.
That early ball passing shot gave Miss Wade no chance at all.
Love 40. Game to the Stover. Stover leads by 5 games to 4. first set.
And Miss Stover playing quite firmly there, but one or two rather frail shots from Miss Wade. But have a look at this forehand pass.
Virginia Wade serving now to Betty Stover. She returns across the court. Virginia in behind it, now up at the net. She has to make a decision which way to go, but she doesn't go quickly enough, and Betty Stover passes her quite easily. And so to date, it seems that Betty Stover has settled down better. In the very opening games, Virginia looked as though she was right on form, but now she's become a little bit tentative. And she's snatching at the ball rather more than one would have expected. Because Betty Stover is a very free-hitting player, and it isn't easy if you don't feel confident to really make an impression and get the match played on your terms. This is what Virginia has to do. She did it so well against Chris Evert. She really dictated how the game would go. And so far, she hasn't done so this afternoon. Betty Stover now with a fine chance to take the first set. She leads 5-4 and serving.
Light. First service. Long. All. $30-15. All.
Every shot from Miss Wade there, thoroughly played, perfectly timed.
$30-40.
Third double fought. What a gift point there for Miss Wade.
Yes.
Well, the second service was as good as almost any of her first services. She is a very adventurous second server.
Advantage, Miss Stover.
So first set point to Betty Stover.
6 games to 4.
First set then to Betty Stover, 6-4.
Second set, Miss Wade to serve.
38-minute set. Now,
Right, please.
Miss Wade has got to find something of the form that demolished the champion.
$15 love. $30 love. $40 love. $40-15.
Pity that, because Virginia Wade's 3 first services had forced errors on the return to take it to 40 love.
Game to Miss Wade. First game, second set.
That was a far more convincing game from Virginia Wade. I think she's got some convincing to do, both to convince Betty Stover that she can't win and to convince Virginia herself that all is still well. It's interesting really that Betty Stover and Virginia are in this final, and I think it probably is because they have such a background of playing on grass courts. Virginia, of course, was brought up in England and played on all the grass court circuits. And Betty Stover told me that she came over here first in 1963 and played in tournaments like Edgbaston and Malvern and even played in the handicap singles. And Dan Maskell just said now that she was an adventurous player. And I think that's why she learnt to be an adventurous player. She played on grass, and it's a surface that helps or teaches you to be adventurous. So far in this final, she definitely has played more adventurously than Virginia.
She certainly gives me the impression, Shirley, of being much more relaxed than Virginia.
Yes, I think she's probably feeling the pressure less at the moment. But there's still a long way to go. And usually in a championship like this, the losing player or the player who is losing at the time has at least 1 or 2 chances to come back into the match. So Betty Stover to serve now, with Virginia Wade leading by 1 game to love in the second set. Betty Stover having won the first set.
So a quick break of service here would really help British cause.
Love 15. Love 30.
A little unlucky.
15-30.
A little unlucky that, and the well struck ball just missed the line.
30 all.
Yeah, one say a little unlucky again. I don't think Petistova was moving quickly enough to have really covered it. 30 all.
(30-40).
The fifth double fought, and that's a significant one because it gives Miss Wade the break point for a 2-love lead. Such a good second service.
Yes.
Almost seems as though she gets her range with her first service, and then having got it, or having served the fault, we got something of the range, then let's fly with the second. That was a magnificent second. Deuce.
Advantage, Miss Wade.
Break point for the second time.
Wade leads by 2 games to love, second set.
And we remember that Anne Jones, the last British lady to win the championship here, lost the first set, but eventually won the title. We're going to have a repetition of that. Now, Virginia Wade really did open out there, and there was no inhibitions whatsoever. They were both free, lovely, well-hit balls. So with the 2-love behind her, it may be that she'll really start getting the feel and the mental strength to go for the shot.
(15 all). (30-15).
Just out.
40-15.
No doubt about that one. The lineswoman at the back there, arms straight out. What is already in the match? 40-15.
Wade leads by 3 games to love, second set. Stova leads by 1 set to love.
Well, Virginia Wade must feel very relieved now to be 3-love ahead. The start of a second set when you've lost the first is always most important. But I don't think that she will have been too worried, because she does have a far more professional attitude now to her tennis. For the last few months, she's been guided by an American coach, Jerry Teagarten, who's sitting up there in the players in the stand. You can see him in the middle. His daughter Pam, with fair hair, blonde hair, is sitting at his side. Jerry Teagarten undoubtedly has helped to take a lot of the worry away from Virginia and the tension. In the past, she's often said that she's felt at Wimbledon that she doesn't play her best because she's bothered by various problems. But now he's been helping her, and she seems to be very much more confident. There would have been a time when if she was bothered, perhaps she wouldn't have worried to find somebody to help her. And that just shows now that she really thinks and is far more professional about her tennis. So Virginia Wade leading, 3-love, second set, Betty Stove serving.
Love 15.
That was a very good, risky shot to play, but she played it firmly. Right in the middle of the racket, that one.
Yeah. 15-all. Second service. Thirty, 15. Thirty, 15.
That's a great return.
All.
Virginia Wade squeezing that return of the first service very, very accurately over the high part of the net. 30-all.
Forty, 30.
I must say, Virginia Wade admirably cool in that difficult rally. Lovely volleying pass there. Deuce.
Advantage, Miss Wade.
So that's 6th double fault. Gives Virginia Wade break point for a 4-love lead. Second set. Yes, it's like feeding a beginner when you put the return of serve as high as that.
First service. Advantage, Miss Stover. Game to Mistova. Miss Wade leads by 3 games to 1, the second set.
Well, Betistova served the double fault, but she also served very well when it really mattered. Pity the sequence and the rhythm of winning games has been lost from Miss Wade, 3 in a row in this set. 3-1. Out-called. And the linesman arm is out very definitely.
You can play that point again.
Well, Harry Collins, the referee, the umpire, has overruled the linesman.
Play that, please. Quiet, please.
Well, in this international competition, the umpire is entitled to overrule the linesman. He has done so. So the score is 3-1, love all, fifth game. That's a winner.
Love 15. All. $30-15.
I think that's what you call dominating the court. Sun shining very brilliantly on the centre court here, and it's right in the eyes of the server from this end of the court.
Yes.
And Batistova's volley today on the backhand is as good as that almost of Mrs. King, one of the truly great backhand volleys of all time. Deuce.
Advantage, Mistova.
Mistova has come back into really good form. Anticipating well, striking the ball well, very calm and very composed.
And Mistova.
I don't think you had any right to do that.
Wade leads by 3 games to 2, second set. Mistova leads by 1 set to love.
Surely, I think the umpire has the right to overrule in this competition, in this international championship.
He certainly has the right, but it was interesting that he didn't completely overrule the line judge, as he did in the earlier case. This time he just played 2 more. Virginia obviously felt that the linesman was correct. We shall see now. So Virginia serving now to Betty Stover. Betty Stover returns. Virginia back with a half volley. Betty Stover just scrapes it up. Virginia Wade runs back. Very close, very difficult to see that. From the commentary box, it did look as though the ball might have been in, but when we see it run back, it's very difficult to say. It was a very vital game indeed, that, for Virginia Wade, and didn't she know it? She was just seeking to dominate this set, and now Betty Stover seems to have taken the initiative again. Much will now depend on how well Betty Stover serves. So far, it hasn't been very sound. There have been too many double faults. But on the other hand, Virginia has found it very difficult to get a rhythm on return of service. And I must say that both Martina Navratilova and Sue Barker said how difficult it was against Betty Stover, because her service comes in and gives you a very bumpy time. So Betty Stover now trailing by 3 games to 2 in the second set, but leading by 1 set to love.
Somehow Miss Wade has got to hang on to this 1-game lead here.
$15 love.
It's out.
30 love.
Oh.
30-15. $40-15.
Once again, that second service causing Miss Wade some trouble there. 40-15.
Game to Miss Stover. Change it over, please, sir. Three games all, second set.
So having led 3 games to love in this second set with a service break, Miss Wade has lost her grip here, and Betty Stover has come back into this match in real good form. So serving with new balls, 3-all, second set.
$15 love. $30 love.
Drop volley, a beautiful shot after the perfect approach.
40 love.
One up.
Wade leads by 4 games to 3, second set. Stover leads by 1 set to love.
The 7th game of any set is always known to be very important, and we shall see how Virginia Wade won the 2nd point of this game. So she serves now to Betty Stove onto the backhand. Betty Stover, Virginia Wade into the net, Betty Stover cross court, and Virginia with a beautiful touch volley angled, leaving Betty Stover helpless on the baseline. Well, that was just the time for Virginia to put in a strong game, and she has done so. Notice that Betty Stover is breathing quite deeply, and I think that she is beginning to feel the tension, because for her, she is nearer to victory than Virginia, and this often makes a player tense. Betty Stover is known as a person who does feel tension, and Virginia Wade knows this, and she no doubt will be striving very hard now to lead by 5 games to 3, but now she leads 4-3 and Betty Stover to serve.
Yes, good call.
Love 15.
Love 15. And I had the feeling that immediately the Dutch girl struck that ball, she knew that it was out. Her immediate reaction was one of disappointment. Virginia Wade's loving has not been very distinguished today, but amazing, the Betty Stover actually made that smash off the frame of the racket. 15 all.
Fifteen 30.
So 2 break points.
Wade leads by 5 games to 3, second set.
So Miss Wade serving to make it 1 set all.
Love 15.
There was a gift point for Miss Wade. That backhand approach played rather badly by Miss Stover. 15 all.
$30-15.
So, 2 set points for Miss Wade. Well, the backhand volley of Betty Stover is deadly, but it's still set point.
So there they were, all square. Relief on the centre court. And a few minutes later, joy unconfined as Miss Wade went into a series of winning games. She broke serve twice. We rejoin it now in the final set. Miss Wade leading by 3 games to love and serving.
15 love.
Betty Stover's well-timed backhand, the ball really shooting there, skidding a bit, which really disconcerted Virginia Wade. I think the wind in the court is disconcerting some of the time. The girls are a little bit letting the ball go, and suddenly it drops, as it did then with Miss Wade, and earlier it did with her opponent.
All.
3-love, 30 all, final set.
40-30.
And good play by both girls there. The first double fault.
Use.
Simply can't afford to lose the rhythm of these winning games.
Advantage, Miss Wade. Game to the Wade leads by 4 games to love in the final set.
And has 2 breaks of service there, and that was a very firm backhand reply.
Quiet, please.
Yes.
Love 15. Love 30.
The moment to produce your first really good lob of the match.
Love 40.
3 break points.
Fifteen 40.
Fine rally with
Ladies
Bettis.
and gentlemen, would you please try and be quiet during the rallies?
That's a marvellous point for Bettis Silva.
Yes.
Well, that was a really remarkable point to win. Bettis Silva under pressure all the time.
Advantage, Miss Stover. Miss Wade leads by 4 games to 1 in the final set.
Well, surely that looked, when she was love 40, it looked as though it was going to be a 5-love, I must say.
It's an extraordinary thing how Betty Stover looked more tense when she was a set up and 3-all and facing victory than she did just then when she was absolutely staring at defeat at love 5, or could have been love 5. Now, of course, she's back to 1-4. Virginia Wade to serve now, leading by 4 games to 1, final set.
So we now want a really convincing service game.
Love.
Oh, and Virginia Wade lucky to get out of the way of that wild dry volley.
30 love.
She would have lost the point had it hit her. But that was a let-off because it really wasn't a difficult volley for Betty Stover. 30 love.
Love. Game to Miss Wade. Miss Wade leads by 5 games to 1 in the final set.
And that was certainly a convincing service game to love. So now it's Betty Stover serving with
Five
new balls
games.
to stay in the final. Oh. That's a fantastic return.
Love 15.
Just out.
Love 30.
No, that's a great winner.
Fifteen, 30. Fifteen, 40.
So 2 championship points for Virginia Wade. Still championship point.
But
Yes, she's done it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the score was 4-6, 6-3, 6-1.
So Harry Collins at least has got the score in recording a British victory at last. And it's the first time since Anne Jones. And here comes Her Majesty. On her left, Air Chief Marshal Sir Brian Burnett. And holding the trophy there, Major Mills, the secretary of the club. And the winner will become the holder for the year only of the Challenge Trophy. So that famous tray, Anne Jones, the last British name on it, and before that, Angela Mortimer, and the gallant runner-up, Betty Silver, who will receive a silver medal, apart, of course, from the prize money. She will receive a silver medal to treasure for the rest of her life. And the Duke of Edinburgh moves across to shake hands with the loser. And I think they're waiting for Betty Stove to come into the picture. Yes, there they are. And it was the Duke of Edinburgh who prompted that. Something we've all been waiting for, and she promised in her interview after she'd beaten Miss Everett that she would win it. Wonderful names on that trophy. Helen Wills, William O'Connelly, Alice Marble. Well, I've never seen this before. Never. What a wonderful birthday present. In a few days' time, she'll be 32. So as the Queen leaves for the Royal Box, Miss Wade now, no doubt, will have to go through the cameras once more. And we haven't had scenes on the centre court, I don't think, certainly not in my experience. Not even when we had that all-British final between Angela Mortimer and Christine Truman. Almost forgetting to curtsy there.